Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. First things first, I want to make a clarification on the pronunciation of Golovkin's possible replacement for May 5th. The Mexican prospect name of Morgana, his last name, but his first name is pronounced Jaime, not Jamie. I mean, yes, it's Jamie as far as in a English term, but in Latin terms, it's pronounced Jaime. So Jaime Morgana, that's his name, and that's the way it should be pronounced. So I wanted to go ahead and make that clarification. Once again, it's Jaime Morgana, not Jamie Morgana. All right, so we'll just see that Golden Boy and 360 Promotions is going to confirm that fight, and according to the report, that's what more likely is going to happen. So we'll see. But anyways, speaking of Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya has made some headlines today. He said here that he wants to. He's very keen on signing Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, and this is what he had to say. He says, first things first, he was not impressed by the aftermath of Anthony Joshua's big win over Joseph Parker, and he was able to pick up another title. Okay, Oscar went on to say here, quote, "Oh, now before I get into that, but he also believes that they're not maximizing on their casual star appeal, okay? And he believes he can make these guys stars." And this is what Oscar said here. He said, quote, "Look, if Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder want to become household names in the U.S. and stop doing mediocre ratings on Showtime, ouch. Call me and I'll make you stars in the beautiful USA." Now, to be honest, the Anthony Joshua fight did over 400,000 views at home on cable, and Wilder done over 1.2 million. Look, I'm not saying he's not making big money. I'm not sure who he's referring to here, but I think he's referring to both of them. Look, I'm not saying that they're making big money, but they are champions. I respect it, but they're no Mike Tyson, that's for sure. Now, I'm a fighter who loves boxing and breathes boxing all my life. I want Anthony Joshua to be considered a legend one day and make the most money doing it. Now, if I was promoting Wilder, I would take him to the UK and fight him, with Joshua, and then have a rematch in the US. Now, I made Wilder a champion, and look at him ever since he's left. End quote. You know what? Yeah, I was going to bring that up because Wilder was a Golden Boy fighter until he left to be backed by Heyman and be managed by Finkel and DeBella. Okay. Now, Oscar has echoed, some of the people's sentiments about the Wilder and Joshua situation. If this fight were to take place, go to the UK first and then have a rematch here in the US. I mean, Wilder's okay with that. So he's been on record, and, his management has been on record to say that. As far as working out the particulars, hopefully they can work out something with Matchroom on this. So, but let's be honest here. Let's not negate the real reason behind why Oscar De La Hoya is very, very keen on signing these guys, because he understands that after the Canelo and Golovkin fallout, he desperately needs some fighters. Okay, I know he's got Matisse. He's headlining. He's the lead promoter with Matisse's next fight against Manny Pacquiao in Malaysia, and of course he's got Jorge Linares, which is fighting Salomachenko coming up on ESPN. I think it's late May. That's coming up. Yeah, but anyhow, he desperately needs fighters. He's bleeding for them, given the fact that they've all left him in early 2015. Majority of his fighters, they went to go sign with Amen or other promotional outfits. He hasn't properly handled the email controversy with one of his executives. He hasn't properly reprimanded him from what the last time I read, and is pretty much left a dark cloud over his promotion, and particularly over this Canelo and Combuterol situation. So he desperately need fighters, and a perfect example of that was when a report came out a year ago, late last year, that he was trying to sign Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia to deals. So, but to all credit, he was successful with Matisse, I think. Well, actually, Matisse was Matisse was part of a Heyman outfit at one point, but he was able to sign him. So, And there you have it on that. And then you have what else here? Actually, you know what? Matisse is always a Golden Boy fighter, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone, please let me know in the comment section below. But anyhow, I just don't see anyone. I don't see Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua rushing to sign with any promotional right now. Deontay Wilder's okay, even though his money is his purses is not up there with Joshua's purses, but he's comfortable. He's making a couple million, averaging about $1.5 million or so, close to $2 million per fight. So he's fine. He says he's okay. He invests his money pretty well. He's not an outlandish spender, as he said. And of course, Joshua's making an average about a guaranteed 15 to 20 million per fight so far after the Klitschko fight with Matchroom. So I don't see those two guys going anywhere anytime soon. But hey, you may never know. But to be honest with you, Oscar does have a point though, because Anthony Joshua is not a household name in the United States. I mean, I know he's an international star at other places. I mean, particularly in the UK and some parts of Europe. I think in Nigeria he's very popular over there too, because he's a Nigerian. Well, his father is. I believe his father or his mother. I think his mother is Nigerian, I think. But anyway, he's Nigerian descent, whatnot. So he's popular in some of those regions, and Wilder is starting to become a bit of a household name in the United States. His popularity is starting to grow. But however, he's not really, he's getting there, but he's not quite there yet, but he's getting there. So, yeah, this is very interesting. I also skimmed across an article the other day. I'm gonna have to do another video on. Is that after the Canelo and Golovkin fallout, a writer by the name of Cliff Rold had wrote something where he said that the title of that article is that Joshua versus Wilder might have just gone from want to need, and what he means by that is that it's not a fight that only fans and some casuals want, but it's a fight that boxing desperately needs after the Canelo and Golovkin fallout. I'm not sure if I really agree with that, but I think, yeah, we definitely want that fight. But does boxing desperately need that fight? I mean, that's a debate we can all have, but I don't know. But Oscar, I think he's going to need to clean himself up, man, because his reputation is pretty tarnished now, and I don't see any high profile fighters rushing to sign with him at this moment. But I know he's using a Bob Arum type of scheme. If you need fighters, particularly that all Al Heyman fighters are being managed, they're not under promotional contracts, which means they're all free agents. They are, they're fair game. You can approach them to sign deals. So Heyman's done that so far with Beterbiev, whatnot. And Guy Thurman was a rumor, but that's yet to be seen. Let me know what you. Oh, one more thing. Now, I know I'm hearing, that Anthony Joshua is, some of his fanatics are saying that he does not need to go to the United States. He's making big money in the UK. He's fine where he's at. I mean, fair enough. That's a fair argument, but. Lennox Lewis and Carl Froch will disagree with that because they both fought outside the United States, and Lennox Lewis done it for more of the for the longevity of his career, and they understand, both Carl Froch and Lennox Lewis. They both understand that if you want to maximize on your popularity and your potential revenue growth, you're going to have to fight in the States because one, the ticket prices are much higher, which means you can earn more. You can earn more on the back end as far as total revenue sales. And two, if you were to be feature on a pay-per-view bout or headline a pay-per-view like Lewis did over the years, you're gonna make more money on the pay-per-view buys. And if your fights are in Vegas, which Eddie Hearn is possibly working on with Wilder's team to set the fight up at. Yeah, there's a larger revenue stream in the United States. Yes, we don't really showcase fights in stadiums like over there in the UK, which is great. We don't do that. But despite that, the arena fights like at T-Mobile in Vegas, if it sells out, it's going to make more money than it's going to make more revenue than fights being held at places like the Principality Stadium or maybe Wembley. That's just the way it is. I'm just being honest, guys. So, let me know what your thoughts about this. Do you think Joshua or Wilder should sign with De La Hoya, or do you Just share your thoughts.